keyboard. I don't care, just finish it. The fucking ropes right here. And then we're gonna be flung back into the waiting arms of the polar bear. He's gonna eat him. He's gonna have a nice mummy for lunch. Steamed toilet paper. I'm 3 minutes late.
Now for the real reason I'm here. I'm going to see what makes a Nagaland curry so different to anything I've ever tasted before. As I've been gifted the venison, Mr. Honley is going to create a curry using the boar that he slaughtered. All that more enjoyable.
Goodbye, father. Goodbye, shooter.
15 different spices. The dried bamboo, in terms of flavour, it's intense. Yeah, it has an intriguing sort of
Now, when this game loads, we can begin talking about it. It's actually such an interesting draft out of blue team. I'm intrigued. It's gonna be a Lucian top. I'm sure this is the roles, right? Because this is ranked. Roles are automatically arranged. Lucian top, bringing it back against Set. Jungle is gonna be Graves against Vi. Two of the junglers you don't see that often. Mid lane, Lux, Victor. So Lux in the most recent patches took a few hits to AP ratio. So I'm interested to see if AP mid lane Lux is still viable at all. All of those ratios nerfs seems to hurt Lux a lot, but support Lux doesn't really get touched by that much. Bot lane even more interesting, a very AP heavy team. It's gonna be Veigar, Leona against Caitlyn Blitzcrank. Veigar, Leona, so much lockdown, so much burst. However, Blitzcrank is the X factor here. Whenever I see a Blitzcrank, I always ask, does Blitzcrank fit the team? Because some teams you just shouldn't pick a Blitz into. Blitz can potentially be the most useless pick for your team, depending on what your team is built with. This team not so bad, and Blitzcrank also works in lane against these two. Leona, it finds it difficult to force onto a Blitzcrank. So does a Veigar. Veigar gets pulled, it's kind of game over for him. The champion has very little escapes. Their AD sources are being supplemented by their jungler as well as top lane, but that also means this is going to be a very squishy blue team. Leona is really the only frontline viability here, and the support Leona can't really frontline against the likes of Sett. In fact, Sett likes it when your team only has one frontline because it makes his job super easy. He just presses R on that one guy and job's done. Haymaker first against a Lucian. It's going to be a really rough lane for him, just because Lucian is really not going to... a decent Lucian at least. Not going to give Sett the room to breathe. And this lane, oh, here comes the hook on level 1. Instant flash forced out by the Veigar. And that's going to be Veigar with no summoner. So suddenly this lane is so rough. Blitzcrank does destroy... okay, maybe destroy is too harsh a word. Blitzcrank is very good against comps that want to do this. Sit back, try to do cage lock now. Because Blitzcrank can be so disruptive in that dynamic, where it kind of shuts down everything a Veigar wants to do, because he just provides so much zone. And you can't really safely lock down a Blitz. Blitz is very anti-burst in that regard. Veigar can't burst him, because even when he falls decently low, he still has mana barrier to keep himself alive. It's going to be a very tough opponent for Veigar to crack here. So as much as I think that this is a very novel laning pick with Veigar Leona, I don't think it can actually work in this context. Caitlyn can stay decently safe against the Veigar, and Blitzcrank just exacerbates that problem by quite a bit. Sett has one goal in that lane as well. He just had to survive. Oh, good flash from the Lux, dodging away from the Vi. But she's flashless and she's fallen low. The mid lane matchup is also a matchup that Lux hates. Lux usually capitalizes on her ability to farm at range, stay safe, and she's gonna get first blooded right here. Victor kind of shuts that kind of playstyle down as well. Deathray shoves way harder than a normal long range mage will be able to handle, and Deathray is also one of the longest skill shots in lane. So Lux can't really stay safe and be in EXP range when against a Victor. She pretty much never wins a trade against Victor, and she can't ever really walk up against a Victor, just because the combination of Death Ray and Gravity Field provides so much zone for a Victor. And here comes a Sett. He's going to be solo killed. That's really the one laning matchup that's good for blue team. Range carry into a Sett. It's basically Sett's worst nightmare, and that's going to be a solo kill. So really Sett's objective in that lane is simple, and he's already failed it, which is just to not die. So now the objective shifts from not dying to not die a lot. It's also going to be an Ignite Lucian, so he's going hard. He wants to kill this lane fast. He wants to just snowball and take over. So he needs to do that, but a few more times. Peacemaker gonna come out. Oh, good CS by the Veigar. Last hitting a cannon with a Veigar auto is surprisingly difficult. Getting that last hit is really good. Now both Leona and Veigar are sitting on every cookie so far. They haven't eaten any. So really now it's still up to Blitzcrank to force some action. He should identify that if he can land a hook onto a Veigar, he's safe. And there it is. The hook does land. And now Veigar really has nowhere to go. The Peacemaker then comes through, and the long range headshot takes him down. As I've called it, Blitzcrank pulls the trigger and finds that kill in the 2v2. It's a really rough existence here. I don't really think you can pick a Veigar into a Blitzcrank lane, especially a long range ADC. Obviously, you don't see the draft in solo queue like this. I do wonder if this was a counter pick response, or if this was just genuinely a Blitz one trick or something. But Blitz gonna try to force on. But remember, he has Aftershock. He's tanky. He doesn't care about the damage. Blue team can't bring any. But here comes the Ignite. Now he has to respect it. Flashing away. And Delusion. Oh, he didn't flash. Sett flash. Sett flash was repositioned Haymaker, and he actually gets that solo kill back. So red team off to a flying start. Lux is in so much trouble. Gravity Wall locks her down. Light binding too little too late. She's going to be killed off for a second time at mid lane. Oh my god, jungler camping me. Jungle diff. Jungle Gap, what the heck, man? I can already see the chat. Gray's gonna come in and try to clean up a few minions. So really, it's up to the jungler to upset the balance of the laning phase this game. But so far, Graves have been relatively dormant. His lanes aren't quite in like the Armageddon stage, but it's getting pretty bad pretty quickly. That solo kill onto the Lucian, who went back to buy a tier so he can cry into it, I'm assuming. It doesn't really suit the cause. Oh, that binding! Oh, I think she should be thankful it didn't stop his recall. If Victor just stood there and fought her with Chaos Storm, I think he just kills her. But regardless, he'll back for a Sork Shoe. Now he's going to come back to lane. Lux is now level 6. Final Spark is online, or for the old school players, Finalis Funken is online. I'm not German, I can't put on a German accent when I say that name. What would a German accent for that name even sound like? I don't know. Lux gonna try to farm at range, but Death Ray shuts that playstyle down right quick. Graves is prowling in the brush, but Victor's not even playing to that side, so I don't think this gank will ever work. Lux really, aside from light binding, Lux can't really hold him down, because Graves doesn't provide follow-up CC, and you can't burst him in the window of 1 light binding. That's not gonna happen. Chaos Storm gonna come down, but here it comes, and the Victor, a cleanse will get himself out of there, and the Graves is level 6. He flashes out of the gravity well. Collateral damage, is he gonna do it? He has it, right? He does have it. He's gonna pop it. Final Spark not gonna find the kill, so Graves is gonna clean him up for himself. So the other way you find that burst, if a Victor overextends into the Graves, which basically happened with the Chaos Storm, trying to chase that kill, bites him horribly in the face. Lucian with Tear in hand. He needs that Monomune, but that also means it takes time for him to scale up. As Seth's Bramble Vest can do a huge number to his health bar in the meantime. Peacemaker gonna come out to find some chunk. Dark Matter gonna try to find some farm under the turret. Not gonna find it here. Traps being laid down. She's hiding the trap behind the turret. Veigar's gonna step on it, and the Caitlyn does find it, but beautiful prediction by the Solar Flare. That's gonna be a 2-man with Horizon. So much damage landing, but Veigar can't press the R key. He flashes forward to compensate, and he's gonna get a 2v2 kill onto the Caitlyn. That was a beautiful Leona engage, catching Caitlyn out. Unexpected Zenith's Blade gonna land as well. Vi is here to assist, and the Veigar's so low, gonna be knocked up by the Assault and Battery, and he is gonna drop. Wall Breaker not available, and now Leona has to make a run for it. The juke not there. Double kill for the Vi, but she's gonna die to the tower and give one back to the support. Oh, that could have gone so much better for blue team, but at least they found that kill onto Caitlyn, and that's such a valuable kill here. Seth gonna try to impose himself onto the Lucian. He has the Bramble, so really he doesn't need to fear him that much, although he still has to be careful. Lucian doesn't really have damage. He has a Tear and a Longsword. He may as well be sitting on no items for the current moment, so Seth really shouldn't be afraid of him anymore. He's just doing no damage with these autos. Graves taking advantage of Vi's absence, gonna take away the Herald. Where's he gonna take this though? Really, if you look at the plays, like, blue team hasn't killed a plate this game. This Herald could be good anywhere, but it sure as hell ain't gonna be used to secure the first turret. The bash onto the Caitlyn, but the Veigar Q not gonna find it. He hits 2 minions, and Caitlyn gonna walk away with a shred of life. Veigar can't convert. He can't finalize that kill. He needs that GLP. These long distance kills, you can't really snipe it with a Veigar. He doesn't have those abilities in his kit. Blitzcrank gonna try to make a play happen. He's level 6. Does he have it? The hook completely whiffs, but the Vi is here. Wall Breaker gonna get herself in. The Solar Flare, beautiful stun onto 2, but the blue smite is enough to secure it. Leona with no damage, but a ton of tankiness, slowly walking away from it, but she's not that tanky. Eclipse not gonna do it either. The Vi finds the kill. That's gonna be kill number 6 for the Y, just bullying all the weaker lane matchups to get herself ahead. And the Fed Vi is terrifying. Oh no, the Grave's gonna be caught out. The ace in the hole from long range, gonna give it to Caitlyn. The jungler finds himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. The Lucian gonna try to trade back against the Seth, but he's reducing his own healing. He bought a Vamp Scepter to try to compensate. What the hell is he building? Like, he's sitting on a tier, he's not even upgrading the Mana. You need to upgrade to Mana Immune if you're going AD Caster, Lucian, or whatever the hell he's trying to do. Tier stack's so slow for Lucian. You need Mana Immune so autos can contribute as well. But he's not even doing that. He's going Blade of the Rune King or something. Why does he have a tier then? Just go Blade of the Rune King if you're gonna go Blade of the Rune King. Blitzcrank gonna be scared away by a Light Binding here. Veigar, surprisingly, he's caught up. He's even in CS now against the Caitlyn. Hook will whiff. But here comes the Wall Breaker and the Assault Battery. Boom! Headshot goes the Vi. The I forgot her E name. Her E is not Assault and Battery, right? No, that's her ultimate. I just know her E and R were named after actual crimes. Like the actual crime charges. Assault and Battery is a criminal charge. What is her E? Excessive Force, right. That's the other one. Vault Breaker, Denting Blows, Excessive Force, Assault and Battery. Very imposing kit name. 4 to 10 now is the team kills. Red team very far ahead thanks to their mostly favorable laning matchups. But now as the game cascades into the mid game, we see Lux tied in CS with Victor, which really shouldn't happen given how badly she was getting thrashed in lane. Graves is ahead of Vi because he's just been farming all game. And the Veigar, he's actually caught up. He's ahead of Caitlyn now. And he's stacking up passively. A late game Veigar can be very scary, but Veigar, no matter how much AP he gets, and to be honest, a passive like Veigar can really only exist on a champion like Veigar, where you provide so much zone, but you don't really have reliable damage aside from ultimate. You can have 1000 AP, but it doesn't solve the fact that if you get caught, you die. If you get engaged on, you die. Event Horizon is an amazing zoning tool, not so much a self-PO. It takes a long time to come down. And if you need to lock someone in with you, you probably die. As a squishy mage she is. That's why some people go tank Veigar. It's not as effective as just full AP. But the idea is you can actually survive engagements and still do damage. Herald gonna make his charge, gonna reduce top lane plate to 1, but the set is already beating the crap out of the Graves. The Lucian's gonna charge in to help. Haymaker not gonna find it, but the set is hungry, he flashes in for it, but that's gonna result in his death. Basconing Victor comes over to assist. Death Ray, oh, first hit to blue team. What a shocking thought of Chaos Storm completely whips. Where did he drop that on? What was he hitting? Oh no, the Death Ray gonna try to find it. He throws out the laser beam, but it's not gonna find the kill. Oh god. What was he thinking? Vi gonna come in, Denting Blows, the combo is there, and she just kills off the Lux on the spot. Perfect execution by the Vi. Bot lane, there might be another trade here. Dark Matter gonna take some CS. That's gonna be about it. Caitlyn's gonna walk away. They can't really find anything here. Blizz looking for a hook here. Event Horizon scares him off. He just has to press W and somebody on blue team will poop his pants this game. Blue team's lineup is also so squishy. You pull in anyone and they die. Even the Leona can't really stand up to the set front line. Oh, Caitlyn gonna be caught out once again by the Event Horizon. Blizz really wishes he was Thresh or something, but the Caitlyn's gonna be locked down and CC to death. See, that's on her. That's just her overstepping. You shouldn't be that close against long-range engages like Solar Flare. That's just her fault. Lucian, oh, this might be an attempted dive on top lane. Nope. Lucian flashes away immediately when he sees a cop. There's a very easy joke here, but I'm not gonna make it. You can just infer it. Flashing away immediately when he sees the cop, and that's gonna give away the top turret. Well, Set doing some sit-ups in the grass. He's back to this lane. He's farming it out. And the Graves trying to make a play. The Vi gonna wall breaker in, not gonna find a punch. Light binding going out. The Cobb really has to try to run now. Here comes the drive-by. The laser gonna find the kill. Victor has to flash away from the scene, and the set making his way into the middle. 3 people, showstopper in the middle. He's not gonna do anything here. He's just gonna be kited out and killed off by the Graves. That's what blue team really needed. A terribly executed fight here from red team to try to get them back into a favorable position here. They need that to happen like maybe one more time, and then they're set. And then this game might actually go their way. Veigar is actually not behind in lane. He has his GLP. He has a tier stacking up the whole time. Like he said, he does damage now. Oh, the Solar Flare. It's going to be QSS. Or not QSS, Mikhail's. Blitzcrank first item Mikhail's in this matchup just because he's so... That's actually a pretty good buy. Because he's so far behind the Caitlyn at all times, essentially. Mikhail's Crucible, that's basically buying your AD carry QSS early. And the Caitlyn has to try to run back. Mikhail's not out for a second time, but the Caitlyn's just going to make it out. The hook will wisp, but it's going to draw out the flash from Veigar. Wall breaker not going to connect either. And here comes the main fight. Caitlyn has to try to wave clear, but they're so low. She's locked in the cage, but she's not in danger. The Dark Matter will whiff, and so does the Primordial Burst. Primordial Burst, no. Baleful Strike. The Lux is gonna be pulled over the wall. She flashes away as well. Blitzcrank wondering how come everybody still has flash. But he blew 2 of them before a major fight even began. And here comes the set. Showstopper drags back the Veigar. He's in the middle of it. He can't get out. Instantly nuked out along with the support Leona. And now the Gravity Well not gonna catch anybody. But here comes the Assault and Battery on the Lux. Double kill for the set. Red team finds the team fights 3-0. Really good teleport from the set here, actually turning it around. And Blitzcrank, despite actually not hitting a hook that game, gets it set up by the set, and now red team rewards themselves with Mountain Drake. Gonna send this game into a rift. Ocean Warp Fire is fire. Oh, blue team's looking at 4 Fire Drake stacks. They're salivating. Oh, can you imagine if this was a 4 Drake comeback and blue team gets that soul? This lineup on blue team does so much damage if you give them the potential to do so. Now Lucian finally working on his Monomune after completing Blade of the Rune. I don't know why. Victor gonna try for an engage onto the Veigar. Not gonna find a long range laser. Snipes that kill down. Chaos Storm still ticking on the Veigar. But frantically he cleanses it. Well, it doesn't really cleanse off, it just times out, but he shakes it off just in time. Herald number 2 also probably gonna go the way of blue team. Looks like Graves is already in the pit, punching it with a shotgun. And here comes blue team. They're resorting to the classic Nayram. But the rest of red team not gonna play their game. They're gonna send the set up top lane. He's starting the split push, but the Herald's Deathcry signals that Graves is in fact there. Set's gonna take that turret and call it a day. He's gonna go home. And despite all the action here, tower count is just now 1-1, with both towers on top lane dying. Vi gonna come in onto Lucian. Assault and Battery gonna find the Lucian. Pops the calling. Pops the Blade of the Rune King active. He's actually kited enough distance, and now Vi's being sent on the run. Oh, beautiful piercing light. Lucian turns it around. Actually finds that solo kill onto the extremely fight Vi. And here comes the engaged light binding. Locks down the Victor. The great shotgun finishes him off. Leona gets roofed up by the Gravity Well. He's gonna be pulled by the Blitzcrank. Steps on a trap. Caitlyn finds the easiest headshot of all time. Gonna be a 1-for-1, but it's mid lane for support, and blue team will take it every time. Lucian now a dominant side lane threat. Set comes in to colors him, slowing him down, and the ignite does land as well. But the Set is not giving up. He still wants it. He's being kited around. Lucian walks into the alcove. He wants to dash over, but it gets stopped. Here comes a haymaker. Lucian's down to a shred of health. Can the Set find it? Graves is body blocking. They're kiting it out. He has to give up. He can't keep going. He has to try to fall back. And here comes the Veigar as well. The numbers are just looking worse and worse. Haymaker not gonna do it. Graves finds that shutdown, and that was the most feels bad set play I've ever seen. Just being flown around like a kite. Blitzcrank punching away at the ward. The Lux binding gonna snare him in place. And then he just has to leave the way he came. So despite Red Team finding favorable team fights, these last few plays have been pretty disastrous for them. They just gave the blue team top laner so much power back. That's a Monomune being stacked on. He's working on Cleaver now. Really the only thing left is that he's still sitting on brown boots. But other than that, his items are pretty strong. Like he's set. No pun intended. 12 to 16, but the gold lead exactly tied. So now we actually, unironically, genuinely consider the question, who's stronger late? I do think Red Team is stronger late. This could be an entirely incorrect assessment. Vi does kind of fall off in the late game, but Sett gets really strong. The only thing is blue team late game has so many damage threats, but none of them are particularly tanky until the Lucian. He's gonna get caught out here. He's gonna be nuked down by the Vi. Vi has to try to run away. Collateral damage is there. He does not even need it. And the Caitlyn has to try to run away from the angry shotgun man. The Blitzcrank gonna come in, root him in place. Collateral damage. Not gonna find it. Ace in the hole. Deals no damage whatsoever. And the Graves just gets to walk himself out of there. Overdrive coming in. Death Ray. Chaos Swarm. Victor finds a shutdown. And that's gonna be a 2-for-1. Red team finds a favorable fight. In the whole meantime, Seth's sitting bot lane. He wants to equalize the tower count. He's pummeling away at it. He's gonna get it. 2 towers to 3. Now they just have to lay siege to mid to really even the score. Twin Shadows gonna find 2 carries. Victor in the cage. He's gonna cleanse out of it, but Leona gonna follow up with the CC Primordial Burst. Gets it. Veigar finds the kill onto the mid laner, and now this is a wide open siege. Sett has to come back. They can't really stay. Caitlyn's gonna get caught out. Mikhail bails her out. A genius item buy, really, from the Blitzcrank. I like this Blitzcrank. But he has yet to really prove himself. In these critical fights, the Blitzcrank hasn't really landed the hook. He's had a lot of chances to make brilliant picks, amazing game-winning ones in fact, but when it actually matters, he's been whiffing them. Blue team deploys a Herald mid. It was timing out. They had to drop it. And that's going to buy them some time to get their first Drake. But the red team collapsing down. They're not going to have that much time. All of blue team is here. They're starting the Drake, but it's very scattered. Veigar just now turning tail. Vi is coming in. Wallbreaker charging in. She gets the smite. She steals it. But she's going to get locked down immediately with an easy counter kill. She finds the Drake but loses her life. What is the call? Do you rush Baron here? Red team gonna reset and they all retreat towards the bot side, and that is indeed the call. Blue team turning towards Baron Nashor. Red team's gonna try to defend mids, finding no champions there. They're gonna be onto it. Immediate red pings coming down onto the pit. They know that's where they're at. They have to try to race her to stop it. Caitlyn, she has a blue orb. Is she going to scout it out here? She just needs to drop it. Give some vision here. Baron dropping onto AK. Blue orb sees it. They know what's happening. Sett teleports in. This fight might be erupt. This fight might erupt. Oh no, now's not the time to trip up Wars me. Here comes the team fight, the grab. Blue team secures Baron, but now the team fight breaks out. The Lucian pulled off into the side. The Veigar in the middle of the Sett. The Sett finds so many kills, and on the side Lucian drops as well. Leona's next to die. The Blitzcrank in the middle of 2. The Lux and Grace still alive. Grace shotgun finds it. The Vi still making her way back. The Caitlyn's not enough. Barrier keeps the Lux alive. That's gonna be a 4-for-3, and blue team secures Baron. It was an amazing net positive play. Lux, she flashes away. What was she doing? You don't need to. The light biting. It catches the Vi. The laser finishes him off, and the light is so low. The shield buys her a little bit of time, but the great shotgun's coming in. One more shot will do it. He gets the ace. 5-for-3, and blue team, they find the fight. They got everybody they need to. It's gonna be a full ace for blue team. They lose 3 people. It was a very messy fight. A total of 8 bodies hit the ground, but 2 people still wearing purple. Lux, however, blew all of her summoners. She barrier in the fight and flashed when Vi was like 7 meters away from her just because she was so scared. I imagine they used the metric system on the Rift, right? I don't know, it is an American game. The metric system they use is just in Teemos, and 1 Teemo is like 100 units or something, which I'm pretty sure is not true. I'm not sure if that's still true. 1 Teemo is 100 units, because well, that would imply it's metric, because it's by tens, you know? One Teemo is 100 units of distance, but that's such an old thing. Like, I've heard it tossed around in the community before. I'm not even sure if it's ever confirmed. I think at one point that was on the wiki. But I'm not personally convinced that the Teemo is actually 100 units. I've always operated under the assumption that that was a myth that was floating around in the community. Because I've never heard any official confirmation. Or maybe there was official confirmation that just was never bothered to look it up. Regardless, Lucian's glowing blue now. He has Muramana down, and he has Black Cleaver down, so there's so much damage going down onto the side. He needs to be careful here. He drops to critical, and before the fight even begins, really, and then blue team, they're gonna try to fight here. There's a very good siege with Baron buff. Seth has to reset. He doesn't have teleport. He used it for the dragon Baron fight rather. Caitlyn, she walks up a little bit way too far, and the calling finds it. What is she thinking? All of her deaths this game has just been oversteps to where she really shouldn't be going. And now 21 to 21, blue team finds favorable fights without a single Drake, I might add. The hook onto the locks, that's gonna start the fight, but the cage gonna lock down so many frontliners. Seth has a haymaker shield himself just to get out. The GLP gonna create glacial path behind the turret. Baron buff wears out, and the cannons losing their charm, gonna run in and suicide, but that's gonna be enough. Red team loses their turret on the inhibitor, and the inhibitor also not long for this world. This is a full-on siege. Even Horizon not the stoppage in time. The set gets stunned, but only after he lands. A beautiful combo coming down. Lucian and Veigar both drop, and the Graves in the back. He's the only damage dealer left. He has an angry shotgun, but this isn't enough. He gets pulled out of the gravity well, but Ace in the hole comes down for damage, and the set one more punch finishes it. Full ace here for red team. Blue team oversteps, and it cost them dearly here. It's gonna be a 5-for-1. And now the rest of red team, what do they do here? They found a moment of reprieve, but they've lost so much. Inferno Soul might be their only chance of fighting back here, really, because blue team only dropped out their bodies after such a prolonged siege. They won the fight kind of already, and then lost the second one. Red team needs this. They need the soul. If it's not the soul, I don't think they can win. I don't think they can last 5 more minutes because this siege will only get worse. Baron is up in 2. And if you lose the ability to get soul here and blue team gets Baron, and the next 3 minutes before your next chance to secure the soul might be the most painful 3 minutes you can possibly ask for in this game. Caitlyn, they're gonna start it. This is desperation mode here for red team. They need to secure the soul no matter what. Leona steps on a trap, but here comes the laters. Here comes the calling. Red team, they secure it with the flash, but now not the flash, the smite, and now the Vi flashes out. Gonna try to save herself. Not enough. The TP can't be cancelled. Sets in the middle of everybody. He's gonna land in the middle of even Horizon. The haymaker shield buying him some time. He's running circles. He has nowhere to go. He's gonna try to showstop her, but dies mid-flight. The rest of the fight is broken out. The red team only reduced to 2 members. The Zenith Blade gonna be flashed away. It's just the Victor left. The Graves gonna lead the charge. He's so fat and he's so strong. He's shooting the Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank gonna sacrifice himself. Try to slow down the Graves a little bit. The hook and the punch. It's not gonna be enough. Even Horizon, it catches the Victor. It's gonna catch the Blitz. It's gonna be a full ace. They secure the soul, but it cost them absolutely everything. And that is gonna be the end of this game. What an exciting game. And I'm surprised blue team actually took their team comp, ran with it, abused all of the damage they had, and really made a stand for themselves here. Coming back from really a pretty bad laning phase. Finding their win here. Veigar's gonna die to the Vi, but it's too little, too late here. Caitlyn finally snipes somebody. Here comes the set for the stun. The Solar Flare buying some time, but it's not enough. Graves is still alive. That's gonna be the end of the game.